Hey there everyone, it's me, Safari Sam, and today we are taking a look at this new custom enclosure for our yellow-bellied mourning gecko. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Safari Sam everyone, I'm your host of the same name, and today we are talking about the sorority, which is what we have named our beautiful yellow-bellied mourning gecko colony. I have been wanting mourning geckos for over a year now, been doing research and etc. And this is a variety of mourning gecko that you don't really see as much here on YouTube. You see a lot of the Hawaiian variety. This is not that. It's a completely different coloration, and they even have very different behaviors. For instance, these geckos, you can see her moving in the back right there now. These geckos have kind of a hierarchy. So the Hawaiian ones will really compete more for food, and then these ladies here, the dominant one will go up to the food, bark so that everyone knows, hey, I'm first, listen to me, know that I'm the queen. There she goes, she's crawling, you see her? Know that I am the queen and I am in charge. That is me. And then they'll like take turns eating. And I hear that these also handle living with the babies a bit better. You of course still, if you're going to have adults with babies, you really need to make sure you have plenty of food so that the adults don't nip at the little babies. Right now my girl, I've noticed after observing her for a while, really likes to be up in these fake plants in the top. And hopefully she will grace us with her presence. But as you saw at the beginning of the video, some big round white things in her tummy, she's gravid. If you don't know what gravid is, it basically means pregnant with eggs. And I am very excited about that. We are going to be having mini baby mourning geckos gracing us in the near future. And as you may know, mourning geckos are parthenogenetic. If you don't know what that is, go watch Godzilla 98, which does not the best job of explaining it, actually not a good job at all, but Godzilla the series actually does a pretty decent job of explaining it. They are capable of laying eggs without a mate. A lot of people will tell you it requires 2 female mourning geckos humping and bumping and then they can lay eggs. That's not true. One mourning gecko can lay eggs. She won't produce as many, but she can. It's been found that these girls in indirect sunlight will probably produce more eggs, and 3 will produce more eggs, not because they have more mates, but, well, which is part of it, obviously, but because in actuality they have more competition. They do compete with each other to lay the most eggs. And if their eggs go bad or get busted or something, they'll eat their own eggs and recover them, so you don't have as much to clean up, which is very interesting. Very, very interesting. But they can lay their own eggs, even without a mate. A lot of people will tell you that they can't. They can. You see, I have... Oh, I pull back and then she's immediately on the move. She moved a little anyway. But yeah, see, it has a mirrored background here. This is custom enclosure. It's from Alimony Hobbies, by the way. They're friends of ours, friends of the show. They gave us this enclosure for a really good price. We did pay for it, but it's all set up. It has real plants and fake plants, and they recommended that as the real plants kind of grow in really well, they can be a replacement for the fake plants. You can pull all the fake plants out after that, but they really help maintain a lot of cover and humidity. So since Sal trampled his pothos plant and I kind of killed another one on accident because I'm stupid when I was working in the substrate, maybe I should give him some fake plants since he doesn't seem to want to let any grow. He's so... But there is a lot of great stuff going on in here. Okay, if I zoom out again, is she gonna start doing stuff? Alright, so let's do this. We've got some good live plant options. These big leaves can hold a good mist on them. And, you know, these mourning geckos don't need a water bowl. They will drink from a water bowl, but they'll also drink just droplets of water on the leaves, which is what they would do in nature. So these leaves can help them get some water, but it can also be things for them to climb on, things for them to hide behind to feel more secure. My girl isn't used to me yet. This is literally day 1 with her. I just got her at the expo, but the video is going up months after I got her. But if you follow us on Patreon, you will have seen the whole video from the expo where we revealed her, and you will have also seen images of her as well by now, I'm sure. We also post all of our pictures from the expo as a whole on there, as well as other behind the scenes sneak peeks. Live animal reveals are always given to the Patreon Safari Sam tier level first. Anyway, the shameless self-promotion is done, thankfully, but we do have these big plans for that, and there's also something very special down below. It's a little hard to see from way down in here, but back there, that is peacock moss. There's some other dead mosses and things in here, other different mosses, but that peacock moss is going to grow in and look so beautiful. When the UV light hits it just right, it explodes with color like the tail feathers of a male peacock, and it's going to look really incredible when it grows in. You can also see that there are many bamboo shoots in here. Bamboo can be good for their feet when they climb on it. They make great hides and great places to lay the eggs. Now you might want to put some little tubes in here if you want to remove all the eggs. Little tubes are great. I of course can remove bamboo. If you saw the whole video, you know I got a bunch of green bamboo as well. I'm probably going to go ahead and remove one of the brown ones and put it in the baby enclosure that I'm going to make. I'm going to have a big tub just for kind of babies and colony breeding, and then I'll have this display enclosure as well. I'll call them both the sorority. It'll all just be the sorority. It's not like there's never been a sorority with multiple buildings associated with it. Or maybe there has never been. Believe it or not, I was never in a sorority. Anyhow, or a frat. They wouldn't have me in a frat either. The bamboo is great for laying eggs, hiding and stuff, and she has a lot of hides. She can hide in all this bamboo, she can hide behind the corkbark, behind the leaves, etc. And that's really good for her. Because, ironically, the more places that she has to hide, the more likely she will be to come out and explore and be visible, because she'll feel more secure. If she has one place to hide, she's just going to stay in there all the time because she'll be too scared to leave it. If she has multiple places to hide, she can feel secure because if she gets scared, she can immediately run somewhere and know that she can hide. Right now, her favorite spot to hide is up top in this big bundle of fake leaves, clearly. But she has spent a lot of time in this tube today. That's where she was when I got her. Fun story, they wanted to show her to me, so they went to shine this UV light in that tube so I could see her, but she was coming out right as they did that, and it scared her back in. Poor girl. But yeah, they also gave us this UV light. I don't think I'll keep it completely over the ventilation like this. That's more for filming. I do want to be able to let some humidity out, you know, and there is still some humidity in there. As you can see, this enclosure doesn't have a screen top or anything, so it'll be really good at keeping humidity. You can see it back there on the mirrored background that she can use to literally mate with herself and induce egg laying. And even without that, the females can lay eggs by themselves, though I don't recommend keeping a mourning gecko by themselves. Mine's by herself for now, unfortunately. Our breeder friend only had one left. Obviously the others were in his breeding colony and he couldn't get rid of them because they're his livelihood, of course. So we were only able to get her, and there were no other booths at the expo that had a single mourning gecko. Believe it or not, as fast as these girls breed, and as popular as they are, I hardly ever see them at expos. But I feel like I should see them all the time, and when I do see them, they're the Hawaiian variety. He's the only breeder I know with the Yellow-Bellies. And if you want his contact information so that you can get yourself some geckos, I do highly recommend him. This video was not sponsored by him. We paid for this product, right? He is a friend of ours, but we paid for this product. We're just shouting him out and his business out because he's a wonderful man and he has a wonderful wife that works alongside him. And he really knows a lot about these geckos, and he also works with a lot of species, breeds a lot of rare species that you don't often see at expos. He has a lot of velvet geckos, which I never really see like anywhere. I've never seen them with anyone but him. Like, I've seen videos, but never any other tables at expos. And I go to an expo like every month. For real. I don't always get stuff, but I do like to look, you know? Sometimes I'll just get even just food. Pay $10 entry fee for food. Can you imagine that? It's fun, though. Expos are fun. You make good connections. You get those business cards, etc. And they recognize me. Not because they like me, but because I, you know, have my iconic hat. Anyway, now I want to talk about the substrate. He made us a really good bioactive substrate, springtails included, but no isopods. He prefers to leave isopods up to the buyer. And while you do have several isopod tubs, you have seen them. We've made many videos with the isopods, many videos. But I don't think I'm going to put my regular powdered oranges in here. I think I'm going to get dwarf whites. We will have to see about that. That's something that I could have gotten some at this convention, but I was like, I'm operating on a bit of a budget here. I already spent a lot on this. Not a lot in a relative sense. These are actually pretty cheap geckos. They usually go for maybe $40. They might cost more if they're already rabid. And then I'm going to be breeding and selling these as well. I'm going to see if there are maybe some museums and zoos that want some first. And then I'm going to, of course, get a lot of the Barbies. A lot of the little Barbies. Yeah, and then I'll keep some as holdbacks so that they can breed more, and etc. And, you know, they're all female. It's an entirely female species. Males are possible, but rare. And they lay little quote-unquote clone eggs, and they aren't 100% clones. The DNA can recombine in the same way, but it's possible for it to recombine in slightly different ways. So the eggs laid by the mother using only her genetic material might not be exact genetic copies. That's not something most YouTubers will tell you. I learned that from Josh's Frogs, an excellent reptile and amphibian YouTuber. Definitely check them out. They're really just advertising for their business, but it's definitely a business that seems to care about the health of animals. If you get Mourning geckos from them, I would recommend getting them from my friend. He's a small, independent breeder. But Josh's Frogs will make sure that you already have a setup and everything for stuff before they'll sell it to you. They really are about as ethical as you can get in this business. That's pretty cool. But back to the substrate. You know, good bioactive substrate. The plants are very healthy and everything. The springtails, I'm sure, are doing well. I've seen a couple of them moving around. And you have the clay balls on the bottom to make a drainage layer that does have the mesh separation for the drainage layer as well. And it also has this little fun piece on the end over here. I haven't seen these on many enclosures, but he uses aquarium-safe silicone on the whole thing, and he seals on this. It's a little drainage faucet, so if a bunch of water does get trapped on the bottom, I can drain it, and that water will be like rich. It'll be water rich with things that'll be good for plants. He tells me that he has some on enclosures with plants right under him, and he'll just empty them onto the plant, and it'll make the plants grow so much faster. Very interesting. I mean, with the specific types of plants in here and the specific type of gecko, I'm probably not going to need to use this if I spray the correct amount. Mourning geckos don't need sprayed every day, but if you're not going to have a standing water bowl, they do need sprayed every day. And they can eat a large variety of things as well. Pinhead crickets are highly recommended. You know, flightless fruit flies are perfect for the babies. Of course, dusted in calcium, which we do have calcium without D3 if you have UV, with D3 if you do not. But we do have UV, so without D3 it is. This enclosure is also full of many other things like cork bark, which is a staple, you know, doesn't really mold, very mold resistant, things like that. And this is actually kept together with magnets, and by kept together I mean kept closed. You can see it has this tape that's more just, you know, for travel when you're jostling around in a car, but also apparently kids really like to just yank these open to see what's inside, and kids are almost as fast as Mourning geckos. This is not an enclosure you want to leave open. This is not a gecko that you want to lose eye contact with when you are working in its enclosure. I would actually recommend, if you know exactly how many you have, just fully maybe putting them in another little container while you work in their enclosure, because wow, even though this is bioactive, it will still need spot cleaned sometimes, of course. And there might be times where I need to remove eggs. I was going to get some little capsules or something they could lay eggs in, but we're just going to have to see. I'm going to experiment with a few different things. There will be many videos on Mourning geckos with our journey of raising the sorority, a great colony name given to us by a friend as well. We were going to get 2 geckos, named one Bo and one Les, but sadly there was only one. So instead we just named the colony, which is usually what we do for colonies anyway. And one thing I need to definitely do pretty soon is feed her. I do have this crested gecko diet from ZooMed, which I haven't tried with anything. It's got probiotics, it's watermelon flavor. Oh, I'm hoping she'll like it. This is good for a lot of different species of geckos, not just crested geckos. You'll need maybe like 1 part powder, 2 parts water, mix it all together. And hopefully she will like it. I really hope she likes it, and I hope this is a good food for her. This is one that I just ended up with. I don't want to give her any of our crested gecko's food because he is very picky. Picky eater who prefers high protein stuff, and so it's hard to get him to actually eat his crested gecko diet. So I don't want to give her any of his, but if she doesn't like this, I'll probably do that until I can get her a new blend. It's very nice, so we are going to do that. And I also want to try another thing. I also want to try a sitting bowl of calcium. Just a sitting bowl of calcium powder to see if she will eat just calcium out of it. I have heard that mini lizards will do that, but to not have too much in it because they can overdose on calcium. So we'll just have to see there. This came with a little measuring cup. I did not know it would. That's actually really cool. Poor girl probably had a rough weekend at the expo, so I made her more food than she could reasonably eat. And then I'm also going to try to give some to Sal as well, so, you know, we'll see how that works out. Once again, he is kind of picky, but we're going to place it in her enclosure. Let's just slowly open this. Keep an eye up top. You don't want to lose track of the sorority president, because if these puppies get out, they're kind of just gone. So we're going to place her food down here. I do have something I can put it high up on, but that would be kind of a lot of noise and me digging around and trying to put it up on a good spot with the suction cups and stuff. And I want her to get a bit more used to me before I start making a big ruckus like that. So I'm just going to kind of gently set it down on the floor for her now, which is kind of where like fallen fruit would be in the wild, you know? It's not like it's unreasonable. Also, I didn't record this because his light and stuff aren't on, and I didn't want to turn his light on just to get a good shot and mess him up, but I gave a spoonful of that watermelon crested gecko diet from Zoomed to Sal, a notoriously picky eater, and he loved it. Like, he went hard on it. I'm dead serious. I think he likes it more than the food that he has refused to eat other foods in favor of. That's insane to me. I've had this sitting around for a while, and he was just like, oh yeah, I'll try it, sure. Oh hey, I'm gonna eat this more ravenously than usual, even though you just fed me last night. I mean, oh my god. Well, he also just got bugs recently, so he's good. It's not like he's starving or anything, though it is kind of mating season for him, so he has been a little wild and a bit more active and stuff recently. It makes sense he'd be a bit hungrier, and I guess willing to try new things, but heck, I might swap their foods, in all honesty, because I kind of plan to give her live prey a little bit less than I do Sal, just because she needs smaller ones than him, and they'll be a bit harder to keep track of, because I like to keep a lot of the prey items also in a very fancy enclosure. We'll just have to see, you know. It's going to be a learning experience. You can do all the research you want, but people will tell you different things, and etc. You know, you just gotta do a lot of trial and error sometimes. And that should just about cover our new basic yellow-bellied mourning gecko colony, the sorority. Yeah, it's really cool. I do have some more supplies for it, like some green bamboo. Maybe I'll swap it out with some of the brown, so she has some newer ones, you know. And I can put half brown, half green in the new baby tub. You will see me do like a enclosure building for a breeding colony of these guys. Sorry you couldn't see her a lot in this video. She's just really shy. I mean, she just came home with me today. This is just when I had time to film it, because I got 2 roommates, so I don't have a lot of time. You can probably hear one in the kitchen right now. But yeah, I am very, very, very happy to finally have a mourning gecko in my life. You can kind of see the little toes. Can you see her little toes? Poor girl. Anyway, I'm gonna go put her kind of in the dark so she can, you know, get calm and used to things, and maybe she will come out and eat, which I hope she does. I'm probably not going to be able to get footage of her eating for this video, but if I do, I'll post it at the end. Oh, she's on the move, I think, actually. Can I just see you move, a little girl? She's right there. Can you see her? Let us know in the comments if you can see her. She's right there. Really cute little gal. Beautiful yellow coloration. A little golden gal. That's it. Thank you all once again. And I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.